And that's what he would be saying to the family, and I'm sure did say to the family, is service and duty. Just get on with it, do your job, and stop complaining.
Everybody is, I know that this was filmed a couple months ago, but everybody kind of came together, or a lot of the members of the royal family came together to honor Prince Philip in this upcoming documentary. What can you tell us about the documentary? I know a trailer was revealed, and you saw Harry, you saw William, you saw Prince Charles talking about him, but what kind of tidbits are we going to learn about him in this documentary?
I think the only bits I've seen of the documentary so far are the pieces that have been released that I think we've all seen. It's made by a company called Oxford, who are a very good documentary company. They've made a lot of royal films before. We've got a number of their films on True Royalty, which is great. So it'll be a really great program, high quality. They've had amazing access to all of the children and to the elder grandchildren. And they've also been given access to some private home videos from the Queen's archive. And I think that'll almost be the most interesting stuff, because the children and the grandchildren clearly, love their father and grandfather and are going to talk warmly about them. But the real insight into Prince Philip will be in those home movie scenes and those clips. And on True Royalty, we've got probably 3 or 4 films about Prince Philip that have access to those home movie clips, and they are incredible. I mean, I've sat and spooled through the rushes myself, and it's something called the Braben Reels, which is the Queen's private collection, and it is gripping. Prince Philip is an incredibly handsome young man. As a schoolboy, we've got some amazing footage of the family all picnicking up on the hills above Balmoral and sort of throwing food at each other, and it's just really great family life. And I think that's what we'll get from this documentary, is an insight into a private family rather than the very public royal family that we know.
Definitely, yeah. Royals, they're just like us, right?
Yeah.
It's so
true. A bit more money and a few more tiaras, but that's fine.
Totally. Well, I mean, what do you think Prince Philip would think about, this rift still going on between the family? I mean, obviously he may have been privy to it before he passed, but what do you think that he would think about it's still going on? Because he seemed like a no nonsense type of guy.
I can tell you now, there's a documentary on True Royalty called The Duke at 90, which I made. And it's definitely worth having a look at, because if you want to know what the Duke would have thought about this, watch this documentary on True Royalty, The Duke at 90, because in it, he just is very clear about stop worrying about your own personal feelings. Stop thinking about how do I feel about this, or how do I feel about that, or going back over into the old ground. He said, you've got a job to do, just get on with it. And at heart, he felt that the royal family are public servants. And when he was in the armed forces, he was a public servant. When he joined the royal family and became the Queen's husband, he was a public servant. And that's what he would be saying to the family, and I'm sure did say to the family, is service and duty, just get on with it, do your job, and stop complaining. Yeah. I say, watch this film, The Duke at 90, and you'll see it straight away.
I love that. It seems fascinating. I'm definitely going to check it out. You mentioned something before, maybe William and Harry aren't even really paying attention or even think about what's going on with each other's lives. Do you think that they ever even pay attention to what's going on in the media and all these reports? Or do they just kind of not pay attention to it? Because it seems like everybody is obsessed with this, the tension between the family, but do they even pay mind to it?
I think Harry and Meghan's household and camp clearly do, because they reference it a lot. But I think that within the palace walls, the principals, the royals themselves, no, they really don't. Because imagine, you've been famous your whole life. You're going to be famous until the day you die. No celebrity that we can think of really now, the biggest stars in the world, have been famous for as long as these royals have, from cradle to grave. And I think if you did look at your press from cradle to grave, you'd go mad. Yeah. So I think they've all made a very conscious decision, back to Prince Philip's thing, of we've got a job to do, let's just get on with it. And you have to shut the noise out. Clearly they have people around them, their comms teams, that are looking at this stuff and are aware of it. But for them, They are just trying to get on with the job. And, you know, I don't know if you saw the report recently, or the sort of the story Hilary Mantel talked about how she doesn't think George will be the king one day. I personally think that's rubbish, and I think it's Hillary going for a good headline, which she's very good at doing. But, you know, she drew the parallels between royals and celebrities and said, you know, if they become too like celebrities, the monarchy loses its moment. And I think that's absolutely the key. You know, celebrities, stars may well have their publicists and may well be aware of their press. The royals don't. And that's where the real danger comes with royalty. You know, you look at the moments when royals have tried to step into the world of celebrity, invariably it goes wrong. And I think that's one of the issues that Harry and Meghan have had with the sort of the Windsor camp, if you like, is I think they applied, and perhaps in Meghan's Hollywood training, they applied, you know, celebrity principles to an institution that's 1,000 years old, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.